As an artist, the one good thing we really get to do is we leave behind a legacy of actual accomplishments, products, things that people can see and enjoy. To know that when you're working, that whatever you're working on is eventually going to be seen by somebody, or video game played by somebody, and millions of people perhaps. And those people are really going to enjoy your work, and they're going to get a lot out of your work. I think that drives me to be the best I can, because I want that satisfaction in the end to say, hey, I worked on this, or oh, it's really cool that you loved it because I worked on that. So you get that satisfaction as an artist. Well, it was great. I had a lot of fun. I love working with people and helping them get the same kind of satisfaction that I would like to get when I work on something. So if people are driving themselves to get better at their craft, and I would really like to help them do that. Any tips and traits I tend to pass on to my peers anyway when I'm working, and vice versa. That's just something you do. So in this way, I get to do it in a much more formal context, send out all the things that I've learned. If there's anything that I can add or help with, then I feel great about doing that. As far as the online format, I think it's pretty good. The interaction with the people is really, really important. So when people just kind of stay back and they don't really work on something, or they just want to hear words come out of my mouth, then I think that's a little less fulfilling. But I think if you really, really want to get in there and hear some more personalized and customized feedback, then I think you're going to get a lot out of it, and it's a lot better for me because then I can interact personally with somebody. The real customized and personal feedback that they need as an artist, because anybody can just tell you a bunch of words or guidelines or things like that. You can read them in a book, but to say something specific that you're doing that you need to change to better, or maybe continue doing, because sometimes even the things that you do you're doing right, you need to know, because maybe you don't even know that. So some of those things need to be done more on a personal level, and that's what I would really hope to get people to do, is to be much more personal. When you work in this format, you can do that, or you can hang back. It's up to you, and that's at least the option that a participant would have, and I think it works really well. Well, this is the age-old question, isn't it? Because everybody who works in any industry, any job, anywhere, can get jaded with what they do. You get deadlines, you get pressure. It's got to happen now. It's got to happen right. You got to do your best job you can under a lot of pressure. And it's easy to forget that what we do is incredible stuff. I mean, anybody can go out and just make an animation. But not everybody can make it really terrific, and when you're done with it and put it up on a screen or in a game or something like that, and you just be really proud of what you do, you have to remember that when you work there. And I've still got stuff in movies that I still like to see. That's the idea. You put your best work out there, regardless of what the deadline is or what the pressure is. You still got to understand this is art, and you're an artist, and when you make it, you put your best stuff in there. It gets tough sometimes, but in the end, it's worth it, because the product is enjoyed by millions, and people will see it, and then you'll put it on your reel, and you'll say, "That's my stuff." And you can say that for as long as the film or the movie or the video game holds, and you don't get a chance to do that twice. So you just got to keep it in mind and keep trucking and do your best. Always do your best. Never compromise unless you absolutely have to. Sometimes you do, but try not to. Well, what I try to build upon is the fact that this is indeed an art form, and there is no one way to do art, plain and simple. Everybody has a method or a plan or a way of working, a workflow, whatever it is that more suits them. And if I were to just sit down here and say, you have to animate this way, you have to put this key pose here and 10 frames there, put the key pose there, and do it this way, and that's the way you do it, and then I would be doing everybody an injustice, because some of the people would help and they would get along with, but for a lot of people, that's not their flow. It's not the way they want to handle things.
So the only one here who might make you scream would be Roz. We like to call Roz the face that launched 1,000...
For me, I know that if somebody were to teach me a certain way and say that's the only way there is, I would feel insulted by it, because it is an art form. There is no one way to do everything. However, there's tricks and traits and tips and things that you can pick up on. All information is good information. So when you take that information, you process it, and then you use out of that what works for you. I'll tell you my methods as best I can. And again, my methods are my methods. I'll show you the things that I do. I'll show you the things that I've learned from other people. I'll show you methods that I know of, maybe that don't even work for me, but might work for somebody else. And the idea is to give you all the information that's possible at your disposal to make yourself the best artist you can be, using whatever works for you out of that information. And I customize it as best I can to your level of expertise. So I'll try to take that into account. But for the most part, it's all a matter of what you need and what works best for you. And that's what I try to get across, and that's what I'm hoping when you come to this course that you'll want is very personalized and very open information that's not going to be straight out of a book or textbook or something that's just going to be the same hash that everybody else does. I don't want to teach the same stuff that everybody else does, because quite frankly, you can learn that anywhere. So the hope is that you would be able to learn something fresh, something new, or at least something much more helpful to yourself than just the same old stuff that everybody else teaches.